Imagine this. You've spent decades building a life, raising kids, holding a family together, weathering storms most people can't even fathom. And yet, one day you look around and realize the people you love most don't quite believe in you anymore. Maybe your children question your judgment, your spouse brushes off your advice, or your siblings smirk when you share a hard-earned lesson. It's a gut punch, isn't it? You've walked through fire, collected a lifetime of wisdom, and still they doubt you. If that stings, you're not alone. I've been there, and I've seen it in the eyes of countless others. Folks in their silver years who feel their voice fading just when it should carry the most weight. But here's the hook that'll keep you with me today. You don't have to stay in that shadow. You can rebuild trust not by begging for it, but by wielding the quiet power of your experience in ways they can't ignore. Recap: when your family doubts you, it's more than frustrating. It can feel like your life's lessons are being erased. But their doubt doesn't define your worth. It only shows they've forgotten your value. Today, I'm diving deep into how to rebuild trust when your family doubts you. This isn't about quick fixes or groveling. It's about tapping into the wisdom you've earned over decades and using it to shift how they see you. I'll share stories from my own life and others I've known, plus 5 clear steps you can start today. Stick with me to the end, because by the time we're done, you'll have a roadmap to reclaim your place as the steady, trusted figure you've always been. Let's get started. The weight of doubt. First, let's talk about what it feels like when your family doubts you. It's not just a fleeting annoyance, it's a slow erosion. Maybe your daughter rolls her eyes when you suggest a better way to handle her finances, even though you balanced a household budget through recessions. Or your son shrugs off your warning about a shady friend, forgetting you've seen more character flaws than he's had birthdays. I remember a moment like that myself. I was 68, sitting at the kitchen table with my youngest, Mark. I just told him to watch out for a business partner who seemed too slick. Something I'd learned the hard way after losing half my savings to a smooth talker back in '82. Mark laughed, said, "Dad, times have changed. You don't get it." That cut deep. I'd survived betrayals he couldn't imagine, and yet to him, my wisdom was outdated. I've met others with stories like this. There was Ellen, a sharp 73-year-old widow I knew from church. She'd raised 4 kids single-handedly after her husband passed, but when she tried to guide her eldest on avoiding a bad marriage, he snapped, "Mom, you don't know what love is like now." Ellen told me later, tears in her eyes, "I've loved and lost more than he'll ever understand, and he thinks I'm clueless." That's the sting of doubt. It's not just about being ignored. It's about feeling your life's lessons are invisible. But here's the truth I've learned after 70+ years. Doubt doesn't mean you've lost your worth. It means they've lost sight of it, and you can bring it back into focus. Why they doubt you? Before we fix this, let's understand why it happens. Age doesn't automatically dim your wisdom, but it can dim how others perceive it. Sometimes it's generational. They think the world's moved past your experience. Other times it's familiarity. They've seen you stumble, so they forget your victories. Or maybe you've leaned too hard on them, and they've started seeing you as needy instead of steady. I've watched this play out over decades. My friend George, 76, used to call his kids daily, hoping to stay close, but the more he clung, the more they pulled away, doubting his strength because he seemed desperate. Doubt creeps in when your family stops seeing the rock you are and starts seeing a shadow instead. The good news, you can shift that perception, and it starts with you. Recap: people often doubt what they no longer clearly see. Whether it's because of familiarity, generational gaps, or shifting roles, understanding the why helps you take back control of the narrative. Step 1, own your story, don't defend it. When doubt hits, your first instinct might be to argue, to list every trial you've conquered every time you were right. I tried that with Mark after that kitchen table moment. I rattled off my credentials. I've run a business, raised you, survived a market crash. He just stared, unimpressed. Defending yourself doesn't rebuild trust. It screams insecurity. Wisdom doesn't need a megaphone, it stands on its own. Instead, own your story quietly. The next time Mark brushed me off, I didn't argue. I said, "I've seen a few things go south. If you ever want to hear about it, I'm here." No fight, no plea, just a calm nod to what I know. A week later, he asked about that '82 loss. He didn't admit I was right, but he listened. When you stop proving yourself and start being yourself, they'll come to you. Your life's weight speaks louder than your words ever will. Recap: you don't need to prove your past. Let your wisdom speak through calm confidence. When you stop trying to convince them, they'll start listening. If you're finding this helpful so far, drop a "keep going" in the comments to let me know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider hitting that button and the bell. We've got more insights coming your way. Step 2, step back to step up. Here's a hard pill I swallowed late in life. Sometimes, trust fades because you're too close. If you're always in their business, fixing, advising, hovering, they stop trusting your judgment because they don't need to. They lean on you like a crutch, not a guide. I learned this with my daughter, Lisa. At 65, I was still jumping in to solve her problems, bailing her out of debt. Nagging her about her job, she'd nod, then ignore me. One day I stopped. When she vented about work, I said, "You've got this, let me know how it goes." She was stunned, but a month later, she called proud she'd handled it herself and asked my take. Step back, let them stumble. Your wisdom shines brightest when they seek it, not when you shove it down their throats. Ellen did this too. After her son dismissed her marriage advice, she quit offering it. When he came back, humbled by a breakup, she was ready, and he trusted her more than ever. Recap: sometimes stepping back gives them space to recognize your strength. You guide better from a distance than by constantly taking the wheel. Step 3, show don't tell. Words are cheap, but actions, they're gold. At 70, I realized my family didn't trust my advice because they rarely saw it in motion. I'd tell them to save money, but I'd splurge on gadgets. I'd preach patience, but I'd snap over small stuff. Then I changed. I started living my wisdom, cutting back, staying calm, and handling my own messes. Mark noticed when I fixed my car instead of buying a new one. "Didn't know you could do that." He said trust grew because he saw proof. Think about your own life. If you want them to trust your grit, show it, fix something, face a fear. Let them see the strength you've built over decades. George started gardening after his kids doubted his energy. Soon, they were asking for his tomatoes and his tips. Actions rebuild trust faster than any lecture. Recap: actions earn more trust than words. Let your life reflect the wisdom you preach, and they'll start to follow your lead. Enjoying these tips? Comment yes below to let me know you're still here. And if you haven't subscribed, now's a great time. Step 4, ask, don't assume. Here's a gem I picked up at 72. Sometimes they doubt you because they don't know you anymore. Life moves fast, and your family might assume you're stuck in the past. Flip that by asking questions. When Lisa doubted my take on her career, I asked, what's the toughest part for you right now? She opened up, and I tailored my advice to her world. She didn't just hear me, she felt heard. Ask about their lives, show curiosity. It bridges the gap and proves your wisdom's still sharp. Ellen asked her son what he valued in a partner. Turns out, her old-school insights fit his modern mess. Trust grows when they see you're still in the game. Recap: curiosity bridges the generation gap. Ask, listen, and then share. Your relevance will shine when you tailor your wisdom to today's world. Step 5, stand tall even alone. Finally, the deepest truth I've learned: trust comes when you trust yourself. If you shrink under their doubt, apologizing, pleading, fading, you confirm their suspicions. At 69, I stopped caring if Mark or Lisa saw me as old news. I started a woodworking hobby, took solo trips, lived for me. They noticed. Lisa said, "You're different." Dad happier. Mark asked for a shelf I'd made. They trusted me more because I trusted myself. Stand tall, pursue your passions. Let them see a life well lived, not a life waiting for their approval. Doubt can't stick to someone who radiates strength. Recap: trust begins with you. When you live fully and confidently, even in solitude, your strength becomes undeniable. If this resonates, drop a keep going in the comments. I'd love to know you made it this far. And if you're not subscribed, join us. Your support keeps this content coming. Your turn. Here's where this lands. Rebuilding trust isn't about them, it's about you. Own your story, step back, show your wisdom. Ask questions and stand tall. I've seen it work. At 74, my family leans on me not out of duty, but respect. Ellen's son calls her his rock now. George's kids brag about him. You've got decades of wisdom they can't match. Use it. Recap: you have the tools, now choose one and act. Trust is rebuilt step by step, and your journey can inspire someone else to rise too. Now time to act. Don't just nod and move on. Pick one step. Maybe it's stepping back from a meddling habit or starting a project to show your grit, and try it this week. Then come back here and comment, "I took step 1," or whichever you chose, and tell me how it went. Your story could lift someone else watching. If this hit home, hit that subscribe button and the bell. I'm here every day with more wisdom from the years we've earned. Share this with someone who needs it. Let's keep this going. You're not done shining yet. Let's prove it together.